Drop shot video, we had a lot of questions on how to tie those specific knots. So today we're going to go over those because it's raining outside, we're in the shop, and I wanted to show you how to tie the knots to hook up your drop shot. First off, the knot that ties your fluorocarbon leader to your braid. I've got some paracord here, and I've figured out that paracord is very hard to tie knots with for fishing knots because it doesn't slide very good, but for showing you how to do it, it shows up good. So we're going to pretend that this green here is our braid. We talked about in our video about how to use 15-pound braid as your main line on your drop shot rig. But we need to tie that to about a 15-foot piece of fluorocarbon leader. And so what you're going to do, you're going to take the end of your braid, and then you're going to take about a 15-foot fluorocarbon leader. We're going to lay these lines opposite directions, just like this, okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is take your finger and put it through here and do 3 loops. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, once you've made those loops, we want to take the tag ends. That's the tag of your braid and your fluorocarbon leader, and you're going to run those back through your loop. So we're going to stick those through that hole we just made, and we're going to pull that all the way through. All 15 foot of your leader has got to go back through that hole. And once you get that, you've got your knot. Now you need to pull the tag ends tight. It doesn't look real pretty with paracord, but I can promise you with braid and fluorocarbon, that's a nice smooth knot that's going to run through the eyes of your rod very easily. You can cast this so much easier. You'll see a lot of drop shot videos that say tie your braid to a swivel. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. It helps prevent line twists somewhat, but the problem with that is you reel it up to the end of your rod and the swivel hits that last eyelet, and you end up either breaking the eyelet or you got 5 or 6 feet of fluorocarbon leader hanging out, and it's difficult to cast. This will slide through your eyelets very easily when you're using fishing line. Okay, so let's take this apart and then let's talk specifically about how to tie the hook onto your fluorocarbon leader. So we just tied that fluorocarbon leader to your braid. We're going to throw the braid out of the way and pretend it's tied on up here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to come down here towards the end of your, this is your fluorocarbon leader, and we're going to take a hook. Obviously it's hard to find hooks that a piece of paracord will go through, but we want to leave ourselves about 1.5 feet to 2 foot down here at the bottom to tie our weight on at this drop shot rig. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie what's called a polymer knot. A polymer knot is very easy. If this is the eye of your hook, what you're going to do is you're going to run a doubled piece of that line through there. We're going to tie an overhand knot. That's as simple a knot as you can get. That right there is an overhand knot. Take this loop end and run your hook through that loop, okay? And then you're going to cinch that down. And that's one of those things that's really easy with the fluorocarbon, but it's very difficult with this paracord. But you're going to pull that through, and you've now tied a polymer knot. Now you heard in my last video, sometimes the hook, if this is our rod up here at the top and this is our hook here, we want that hook sticking out like this, okay? We need the hook point facing up. If it's not facing up, if it's facing down or it's facing sideways, I almost always will bring that bottom end, the end that's going to the weight, and I'm going to bring it back up here, and I'm just going to run it right through the eye of the hook and down like this. When you do that, it will always turn that hook point straight up so that when you hook those fish, you hook them right in the meat of the roof of their mouth where you want it. Okay, so now you've got this 1.5 to 2 foot coming down here. We need to tie it to our weight. I don't have a weight that's for this, so today we've got fishing scissors. Most of those weights that I showed you in the video, all you have to do to cinch them up is to put the line through the little slip and then pull down on the weight and it slides up in there. But you can use the cheap little bell weights if you want. And all you need to do is tie, a basic, either an overhand knot like that, or if you want to, you can double knot it. The problem with double knotting it is if it does get hung up and you have to pull real hard, it may break your leader line off and you may have to retie your leader. But there you have it. You've got a weight tied on about 1 foot to 1.5 feet below, a hook that's facing up, and the rest of it goes to your braid. That's all. Keep your lines tight. Y'all have a good day.